Welcome to Christian Statesman. I'm your host, Zach Wagner, and this is episode 25. Communism is merely rebranded. If you enjoy listening to smart people who have served in high offices in government, media, and the military, and who are honest and not compromised, you will hear common themes about our recent history that are portrayed incorrectly in the generally accepted dialogue. One of the biggest falsehoods being touted regularly is that when the Berlin Wall and the Soviet Union fell under Reagan, the final victory over communism was achieved by the West. This is, of course, complete nonsense. Communism is not dead. It simply went into the back room, shaved, showered, and came back out in a presentable Brooks Brothers suit. It has simply been rebranded. The players have changed somewhat since the days of Reagan. In the 80s, the Soviet Union was the balancing superpower to the United States. Similar military strength and a global competition of proxy states leaning towards one or the other was the game at the time. But the Soviet Union, as all communist states will, eventually succumbed, a victim of its own unsustainable military and economic policies. Today, it is China that is ascendant on the world stage. And harbor no delusion. China has one overriding goal: to replace the United States as the dominant global superpower. And with their more subtle infiltration of our corporate, military, and government infrastructure, China has been able to play catch-up on the world stage for the last 4 decades. When Mao passed in 1976, he had devastated China through his closed border policies to the point that they barely qualified as a third world country. Today, thanks to the investment of international dollars, the devastating transfer of American production capacity to China through NAFTA, the theft of intellectual property and technology, and the reluctance of Western powers to confront any international misdoings, China stands on the brink of eclipsing the U.S. on the world stage. In 2018, when Chinese Defense Minister Wei Fenghe's speech was leaked, in which he outlined the singular focus of China's military and economic efforts to take down the United States, we should have taken him at his word. Last night on Fox News, Tucker Carlson outlined a Chinese professor's boast that China now has old friends in high places in the U.S. government. The compromises made to China in corporate, academic, and government circles are too many to try and list. But do not pretend this man is merely boasting. They have influence everywhere, up to and including the incoming administration. What this means is that we as Americans should be on guard. A China-dominated world versus a U.S.-dominated world would look very different. America, despite her many flaws, still holds a semblance of liberty and human rights as sacred. The CCP in China would not know how to spell human rights. Just ask the millions of Uyghurs sequestered in prison camps making shoes and shirts in Western China. If you want to stand by while the world ushers in a new era of darkness and hopelessness, just console yourself with the idea that communism is dead. It is, in fact, very much alive in its glorious and rebranded ambitions, and still has the same old goals in mind since the days of Marx and Engels: to conquer the world by revolution. They will employ a revolution of ideas to have the West slip into their orbit, or, as one should expect, they will foment a violent, kinetic revolution when the time is right. The writing is on the wall. China is the world communist leader for this era, and they are playing for keeps. They have one overriding goal, and that is to be the dominant superpower. And domestically, we see corporate and government elements within our country helping them achieve this very goal. These compromised actors are, in essence, holding a knife to their own throats. And if you believe what is on Hunter Biden's laptop or written in Peter Schweizer's book entitled Secret Empires, you will come to realize that Joe Biden is one of the most compromised individuals in America when it comes to China. Not a helpful situation. America had better wake up before it is too late. Complacency on these issues could be fatal. Thank you for listening, and please don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends.